Have you ever imagined what it would be like to create an entire feature film from paper to poster in only 30 days? My guest today did just that. Find out how next on Below the Line.
It's Below the Line with George Peroulas. Tonight's guests are
Creating a feature film can take months, even years of planning. Millions of dollars can be spent and the outcome is not guaranteed. My guest today creatively ignored reality and barriers and accomplished the unheard of, making a movie in 30 days with only $5,000. Please welcome producer, writer, director Kent Smith and executive producer Jessica Pickman. Hello, welcome.
Hey, how are you?
Great, how are you? Have a seat. Hi, how are you?
How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for coming. First, we want to say hello to David Temple, also the co-writer, co-producer, co-director of the film. He is unable to join us today because he's on location on another project, and we're going to get all into how this film was made and all that. And he was a huge part of this, right?
That's correct.
Let's get a little bit background information on you. Your background is still photography. You've traveled the world. What have you done and what do you shoot?
Well, I mean, I've covered everything from the President of the United States down to NBA to NFL to portraits all across the board from all different avenues, from advertising to music to album covers, a little bit of everything. So I like to kind of touch base with everything. So I don't like to be pigeonholed into one aspect, but definitely enjoy being around people. So.
Jessica, you're also in television. Tell us about you.
Started with a background in sales. I've been in TV for 11 years, selling advertising, and now kind of merged into marketing, doing more of the PR special events, but still involved in the sales aspect of things.
And how did you meet to work together on this project?
Go ahead.
Well, we met actually at a dog park. And so during this project, we sitting down talking, and we talked about what we were going to do, and we kind of were looking for people to help. She stepped in and was a huge help on helping make this movie and putting it together.
Now, this movie, The Last Passport, is a feature film shot in 30 days with only $5,000. This is one of the most inspiring stories I've heard in a long time, and I've been doing TV and films forever. But you also had a self-imposed deadline to create this whole project from blank paper to a finished product with editing and a musical score in 30 days with only $5,000, and you were streaming live on the internet the entire time, 24 hours a day. Yeah. How did this whole concept come up?
Well, it is kind of a crazy concept to think that you would, step into your first full feature film and do this. Dave and I, we were talking and we were thinking about another movie that we had ideas and trying to put it together. And it just happened that I was going out of the country at the time to the British Virgin Islands, and so was walked into a passport office to get all the details for that, and started noticing while I was sitting there waiting, the 2.5-hour wait to get your passport, that there was just all these similarities in life and how you're always trying to figure out where you were going, what you wanted to be, where you wanted to be, and you knew what you wanted to accomplish. And so through that I thought, wow, what a great story. What a simple story, simple location, simple concept, something that can be done pretty economically, and also has an inspiring story of development of characters and building that storyline. So after that, got in touch with Dave, talked to him, and we started talking about the concept of how do we do this, how do we make this story happen. And so Dave, had this great idea, let's do it in 30 days, and so, and I'm thinking, well, if that's going to do that crazy, why don't we do this? Why don't we make it for under $5,000 and do this thing? And so we both sit down, we think about this, and at the starting of the project, we were like, well, we'll shoot it real guerrilla style and just jump into it and execute this thing. At this point we have nothing. We have nothing written down. We just have a concept of what the story's about. And then it just developed. Everywhere we went, We were talking about it. People were getting excited about it. They were like blown away. And they, one of the great things Steve Saxon said, I don't know, our director of photography, when we went to him, we said, Steve, here's the concept. And Steve's like, well, I don't know anything, but you guys are crazy, one. But I might be crazy if I don't do this and you accomplish it. So that's how he came on board. And it kind of kept rolling along the process. We just kept grabbing people, and they were excited about it, and they were excited about, telling a great story. And it just developed.
What did you first think when they said they were going to do this whole thing in 30 days?
They're crazy. No, I mean, I think in the beginning I thought, well, they're just talking about it, and it's not really gonna ever come to anything. And then all of a sudden they were having meetings with the photographers and talking to different actors, and I thought, wow, this is really, they started writing the script, and I'm like, okay, here we go, we're moving.
It's happening.
So yeah.
In addition to all of this, you also decided to be live on the internet, showing the world what you're doing documentary style. How did that come about, and what was that?
Well, this was kind of a story, that we wanted to have behind the scenes. And the great vehicle now is the internet. It's being able to show what goes on live, instantly. So we were showing, during the whole production, from the writing process down to pre-production, to talking to actors, to interviewing actors, to the whole process was pretty much we had on camera. Now there was times when we would turn it off for certain things, we'd turn the camera to a different angle, or we would, during the filming, we didn't want to give away the film itself and the story, because even part of our crew didn't know about the whole story and the concept. So we were real selective on those things, but you were able to actually sit down in your house, watch the film, and enjoy the story unfolding, and people started building characters with not only the crew members, but also the actors as well.
Now, Jessica, what hesitations did you have right before this started, where you thought, let's not do this, this is too risky, before you knew it'd be too late to turn back?
I think my only hesitation was, really, we were throwing it out there. We were saying, we're going to do this. We're going to do this in 30 days. We're going to do it for the $5,000. And, as much as we were putting it out there, if we didn't in fact do it, then, our reputation was going to be, hurt. Did I think that we couldn't get it done? Absolutely not. I knew that we could do it, but it was just a matter of, everybody's working for free, and that's a big commitment to get from all the people that we had involved, including the four of us that, Dave and Alex, myself and Ken, we all had full-time jobs on top of that. So, to get that all done, that was my only real hesitation, but I knew we could do it.
And it worked.
It did.
And Kent, how has shooting still photographs for all these years helped you prepare to direct this movie?
Well, I think they kind of go hand in hand together. There's Stanley Kubrick and Roman Polanski are both, photographers turned directors. I think it's being able to have that vision and being able to see what you want and how you want it. And also, it's about how you can direct people to accomplish those things. And, you're constantly, especially on a set, we were in a room not much bigger than the set right here, shooting a full feature film. And you're having to direct people, having to make sure everybody's in the right place, make sure everything's working out. So there's all those little things. And you're also keeping everyone not freaking out. Here you are, you're shooting 18-hour days. Sometimes you have to step in and be, kind of authoritative. And other times you have to be, hey, look, it's probably not that big a deal. Let's just let that slide. And so there's a lot of things. You've got to be real tactful about how you're working on the situation. And I think the photography, for me, I work where I'm at a shoot and there might be 40 people behind me eating, hors d'oeuvres and watching it. So you're constantly on set and being that presence. So they kind of go together. It's that vision.